I sang this song for my sister's wedding. My sister was well in her 40s before she ever got married the first time. And she's still married the first time. And, you know, she was the classic runaway bride. I mean, Julia Roberts had nothing on her. She bolted on several. So when she called me and said, "I'm getting married," and I said, "I'll pencil it in." She said, "I want you to sing at my weddings." I said, "You know, I really don't like to sing at weddings. It's just not my thing." And she goes, "No, sing at mine." I said, "Okay, just this one." You know, if you cancel, that was your shot. So this is what I sang at her wedding. This is from a true story. And I don't write love songs very often. They're not really my deal, but I saw this documentary about some performers who used to make their living on the Sideshow circuit in the 30s, 40s, and early 50s. And back in those days, there were two kinds of Sideshow acts. There are the working acts. Those are the people who are tattooed and pierced, and they do strange things to themselves. They walk on glass, they swallow swords and fire and shove spikes up their noses, things like that. And then there are the born acts, and those are people who are born different and remarkable. And up to the early 50s, those people made a living doing the Sideshow circuit. This documentary focused on a couple of performers in particular, and one who captured my heart was a girl named Priscilla. Priscilla was born in Puerto Rico in 1903 to a very poor family. They didn't know what to do with a little girl like that, because she was born with hair all over her face and body. And not just a little hair, a lot of hair. She also had a condition that gave her a very primate-like look. And her parents knew that she'd be ostracized and ridiculed her whole life. And they were afraid. But they found out about a man in the United States who could help that little girl, and he came down to meet her when she was 3 years old. And when he went back to the United States, little Priscilla went with him. Her parents had sold her. But his wife and that man adopted that little girl and raised her like their own, and they loved her with all their hearts. And she was a happy child. She charmed everyone she met. And when she got old enough, she had a job, because that man was a sideshow promoter. Oh, but Priscilla was a star, the best act he'd ever had. She'd cartwheel and skip onto the stage, blowing kisses and sing and dance, and they billed her as the monkey-faced girl. And she was a hit, and she won hearts everywhere she went. And when she was 17, she won the heart of another performer named Emmett Bajano. Now, Emmett was a good-looking man from the neck up. From the neck down, he was covered with scales, and he was billed as the Crocodile Man. Priscilla thought he was the handsomest thing she had ever seen. And he loved Priscilla, hair and all. They fell wildly in love, ran away, eloped, and when they came back, there was a new act. They were now billed as the world's strangest married couple. I've been at the Kmart in Tucumcari, New Mexico, and I can dispute that. And I can't go back to Tucumcari either. They lived a long, happy life, and when they finally interviewed Priscilla for the documentary, she was in her 80s. Emmett was already gone. When she talked about Emmett, though, her face lit up, and she sparkled, and her eyes danced, and she became beautiful. That's the power of love. So when my sister wanted a song for her wedding, I had the song. look at him with his webbed toes and fingers and the scales on his skin. The crocodile man was gonna go far on the county fair sideshow. He was a star. Her parents sold her when she was a girl, when the hair on her cheeks grew in ringlets and curls. But the monkey-faced woman, she was all the rage when she and the crocodile man hit the stage. And the lights go down on the midway. He takes her hand and asks her to dance. She lays her hairy cheek on his big scaly shoulder, and they smile and they dance in a sideshow romance. Now at this point in the wedding, my sister was beaming. The new side of the family was looking for places to hide, and they say that pastor never did another wedding again. Now watching from high upon that trapeze, tattooed Matilda hangs by her knees. Her neck is red and her heart is blue, wishing that she had a man like that too. And watching Matilda from inside his cage, slobbering and screaming in primeval rage, the Borneo wild man would like just one chance to show sweet Matilda the Borneo dance. And the lights go down on the midway. She swings by his cage and he grabs her hand, pulls her close to the bars, and she laughs and he drools. Dance in a sideshow romance. Then the ringmaster bows at the end of the night, counts out his money and locks it up tight, peels off his mustache, and it feels kinda weird when he kisses his wife goodnight through her beard. And the lights go down on the midway, and he takes her hand and asks her to dance. And the sawdust flows through their veins as they smile, and they whirl and they dance. The sideshow romance.
Terrific.